Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Alice Rita. If you are new to my channel, you are welcome. And to all my new and returning subscribers, I appreciate you for supporting my channel by watching my video, for your comments. Thank you to everyone that sent me congratulatory message in my submission video. Thank you guys. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to combine the different sections of your documents together. However, this tutorial is going to be a long one. It should be about 20 minutes long because I'm going to show you without jumping any parts how you will merge your documents together, not using the control paste and copy and paste function. No, I'm going to show you the kind of errors you can encounter when you finish merging them together. I'm going to show you how to generate the table of contents after you've merged them together, and how to solve the errors that comes when you finish creating your table of contents. It's possible that after you have your table of contents that there is going to be some error with some body of text appearing or figures appearing in your table of contents. So let's get started with today's tutorial. This is the final version of my dissertation, and the different chapters, they carry the heading of the chapter title, which is the chapter number. Chapter 2 carries the heading of chapter 2. Chapter 4 carries the heading of chapter 4, 6, and every other chapters carry the numbering of that chapter. So I'm going to show you how to combine this while still retaining the style of that chapter. And in this folder, I have the final version of all my chapters. The different chapters, as I was writing them, I put the chapter heading. So if you look at chapter 7, I'm sure it also carries the chapter 7 heading. So how do you then do this so that you don't have the headache that comes with copying and pasting them together? We are going to create a new blank page using Ctrl N. And the next thing you want to do is to click on the insert function, and to the right of your screen there is this tiny icon that has a drop-down option to either insert an object or a text from file. Since what we want to do is to combine the documents together, we're going to be using the text from file option, which I'm going to click on text from file. It's going to open a window for you to locate your folder. And here I have my folder that is titled to merge. I'm going to click on the first chapter, click on insert, and that automatically copies the text from that chapter. It also copies the figures, and if you also have a table, whatever it is you have in that document, it's going to copy everything. So if you observe, the chapter 1 carries the header, but the blank page we are working with doesn't carry anything. So that's fine. Just leave the blank page as it is. But in your at the end of the text in that first chapter, go to layout, insert next page. When you click insert next page, now you have a page break between this page and the next page where it's showing you the empty file. What I'm going to do, because this next page that we have after inserting the page break, it still carries the header of that previous chapter, what I'm going to do is to unlink it. When I unlink it, this new page is independent of the previous page. And what I can then do is to delete the chapter 1 that it's showing. And if you go back to the previous page, you can see it's still showing the chapter 1, but our page break is now a blank page. And now I'm going to go again and insert chapter 2. Locate the folder. Oh, sorry, that's me pressing my hand on the keyboard. Insert chapter 2. And if you see again, the heading for the chapter 2 also it's carrying chapter 2 rather than carrying chapter 1. At the end of inserting each page, I'm going to be inserting the page break by going to layout again, click page break, next page, And now I'm going to be having like multiple blank pages. Don't worry about the multiple blank pages because we are going to eliminate them after combining of the different chapters. And as I did for the previous chapter, I'm going to click here, unlink this chapter from the chapter 2, and then click it again to delete the chapter 2. It's important that first you unlink, close it, then click on it again in order to delete instead of clicking on link and delete. Sometimes when you do that, it deletes from the previous page. It remembers the memory from the previous page. So if you look now, our chapter 2 heading is still there and our blank page carries no heading. Now we're going to go back, insert, text from file. We are going to be locating our folder, insert chapter 3, click insert. And you can see that chapter 3 refused to carry the chapter title, the heading of the chapter. So what I'm going to do is locate the beginning of my chapter 3 and then add its own chapter 3. Make it bold, click outside, and you can see we have the chapter 2 heading. Chapter 3 has its own heading now, and I'm just going to the last page of chapter 3. At the end of the chapter 3 text, I'm going to insert a page break in order to add the next chapter. The reason is not a must for you to always add a page break in order to merge all the documents together if you're able to highlight all the different chapters at once. But for security measure and not to give myself extra headache, that's why at the end of the insertion of each chapters, I'm adding a page break. So click next page again, and you can see our next blank page is still carrying the heading of the previous page. We don't want that. Click on it, unlink it, check out first, and then go back there and delete that chapter. And now you repeat this for all the chapters that you have. Pardon me if you feel that I'm repeating the same step, but it's important that you know that you can do your merging without having to go through the stress that comes with adding the chapters. You can see that chapter 4 automatically carries the heading, so we don't have to do anything with that. We just insert a page break. So go to layout, page break, next page. And I'm going to now click here, unlink it, click outside of that before then going to delete this. The reason I'm doing that is because when I was merging mine together, I just click on link and then delete. It was affecting the previous page, and that's why I make sure that I first click outside before clicking in to delete that. And I'll quickly add page chapter 5. Chapter 5, insert. As you can see, chapter 5 has been copied. The heading, everything looks good. So let's go to the end of that chapter. Okay, everything looks okay. Again, we are going to be adding a page break. That has been done. Here, unlink to the previous chapter. Now delete this heading out and insert chapter 6. And everything seems okay again with our chapter 6. You can see chapter 6 header is there, and I can already observe a problem here. You can see that my chapter 6, a figure in chapter 6 is coming out from the chapter heading. So what I'm going to do is locate that section. It's supposed to be a figure. So what I'm going to do is to go to Home, click on Style. I'm going to tick this Show Style Guide. And you can see that this caption is showing as a heading of a section, which I'm going to then change that. No, it is a caption. Automatically, I've made a mistake. Ctrl Z. When I click, I was clicking on the photo, on the image itself rather than on the text. So what I'm going to do, okay, so here is my cursor. I'm changing it that it's a caption. So now that has changed and it's no longer showing here. So if you observe your figure showing in your text, it means that you're going to be having problem with the table of content. So that problem has been resolved. And now, as usual, go to the end of the text, insert. Going to be copying the last chapter, which is the chapter 7, to merge chapter 7, and we are done. So if you check the last chapter, you can see the chapter 6 also it's here, but there is a problem. Our chapter 6, this one is showing chapter 6, although there is no text behind, so that's not a problem. All we have to do is to make sure that we insert a page break immediately after the last text. So that's going to be reference, layout, next page, and I'm going to click on link. And now that we've unlinked this chapter, I'm going to delete the text that is showing here. So now that all that has been solved, all the subsequent pages, I'm just going to now delete them by using the back delete option on the keyboard. So you can see we are not having any problem. Delete, delete. So now I don't have any more blank pages at the end. Oh, I have more to delete. So I'm just going to click on this, use the back delete option. Okay, problem solved. So you can see that having your style, merging your documents together, I've been able to do this under 12 minutes. This should have taken less than 12 minutes, but remember, we observed that there was a figure that was showing in our document. So once you've done this, you can see that there is no bibliography in my document. This I can easily resolve because I just have to click EndNote to generate the bibliography. And also, the front page, you can see there's no table of content. That is not a problem because you can just go to layout, insert a page break. So next page. So that's generated a blank page before our document. And what I'm going to do is to click on the beginning of my chapter, right click on it to unlink it from the first page that has been generated. I'm just going to close that. And now I can come here on the first page and delete the heading. When you go back to the next page, because you've unlinked it from the blank page, you can see it retaining your chapter 1. So anytime you want to apply a new document or a new setting, always remember to use your page break and the unlink, that is to uncheck the link to previous page option. So now we are going to add the table of content, and this we can do by going to references, table of content, and use the custom table of content. With the custom table of content, you can decide how many levels you want to show. For my thesis, I have about 4 different levels, and I'm going to be clicking 4. And if you look at this section, this part of the window, you can see that it seems there are going to be 3 different style. You can see my main chapter is going to be in capital. The next section is going to be in capital, but that is not what I want. So what I'm going to do is click modify, and then click modify again, and you can see it already showing you what the text will look like. I need a double spacing. That's the first thing. And the second is I do not want capital. So I'm going to click here in the formats, go to my font, and that's going to open a window which you can uncheck the all capital option that is showing, and then click OK and OK. So now that's going to be solving the problem of the first section showing as capital. We are going to repeat this to modify the second section, which is going to be modify. That's the subsection, which is the TOC2. We are going to click modify, go to the font again. That should open a window, and untick also where it's showing all as small cap. So I'm just going to untick that, click OK and OK and OK, and you can see that's as unified the type of style I'm going to be having. But you can see I applied the double spacing to the first one. I didn't do that for the subsequent heading, so I'm just going to quickly go back and click modify, go to the second one. The only thing I'm going to be doing now is make sure that it's a double spacing, click OK, do the same for the other one as well, so that I have the similar style for all the section, you can see. And I'm going to be making sure that they are justifiable. So I'm going to quickly go back to the sections. So click OK. So these are all the last minute edits that I did for my dissertation, and if you're able to do this, you will not be panicking because you want to submit. You can see now this looks uniform, the text, the font, the space between them. This dotted line, it's a preference. Depending on if you don't want it, you can click none. For my thesis, I think I didn't use it, so if you want it, I'll just put it here. Click OK and another OK, and you're going to be having your table of contents. So you see, now we have our table of contents, but as usual, some error has happened. We can find some figures in my table of contents and also some body of text in my table of content. Okay, so you can see here. So what I'm going to do is click on that. It's going to take me automatically to the section of the document where I have that text. You can see it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm already tracking the type of style that I have. So if you don't know how to track your style, what you have to do is just go to home, click on style pane, and check this icon that says tick style guide. That will show you what they are. So you can see that this part of the text is showing that it's an heading, which I just have to unclick that. Okay, that is normal, not it like it's the normal means it's the body of the text. So that automatically stops it changes it. So here, this section also is showing as a caption rather than as a subsection. So I'm just going to click that it is a section. You can see, problem solved. This section is showing that my caption also here, it's showing as pink. Pink also is showing that it's a section. I'm going to correct that and says it's a caption. So when I correct that, you can see it has changed the style format for that. And I'm just going to add spacing to this. So now I'm going to go back to the table of contents that we generated. It's taking time to load because it's a big file. Okay. So we're just going to then go to reference, update table. We're going to be updating the entire table of contents, and that should automatically eliminate the figures. So click OK. And now I'm just going to slowly scroll. Oh, the document is taking time to load. Gently scroll through so that you can see for yourself if we have any more text. So you see we still have this figure coming in between the text. It's going to be easy. We're just going to go back to where it is. See, there are more figures showing us. So this, I'm just going to go back to wherever it is. Go to home, style, that it's normal. So those are the simple edits that you are going to come across when you are writing, combining your document. You can avoid this by making sure you've checked through the documents before merging them together. So I'm going to quickly scroll through all the. Okay. So I think I will just end the tutorial here. But first, let me go back to page number 1 because this is taking long to load now. And I don't want to bore you with the last minute editing that I encountered. So this, I'm just going to say it's normal. So that's one of the benefits that I think I enjoyed with the new updates in Microsoft, because you can see that has been also solved. Update table, entire table, click OK. Now go back to the first page again. It seems my computer is crying now. Okay, so you can see that problem has been solved. No more figures in our table of contents. So you can see, let me gently scroll through. You can see that there are no more tables, no more body of text appearing. So that's how you solve the problem you're having if you encounter this type of error in your last minute update. So no more figures. And this is the end of today's tutorial. If you're interested in me showing you how to use the EndNote bibliography referencing, please write in the comments. I can make a tutorial on how to add the reference. If you're encountering problem with the referencing, that I'm going to make in my subsequent video. Please like this video if you found it useful, and I appreciate if you share it with other students that you know that are writing, that you can use that to help them to avoid the panicking that comes with the last minute updates of merging documents together. And until next time, thank you for watching today's video. Bye.